Hey boys and girls, it's been a while since we made a video. So, we got the buggy running again. Again and again and again and again. We made, I don't know where we left off in this thing. So we have that dual exhaust on there. It's a 2¼ inch cherry bombs, really loud, but it muffles down enough. We have the 44 Webers back on. And they're on the tall manifolds. Yes, the air filter does hit on the passenger side just a little bit. No more turbo. For now, we're stepping away from turbos. So, thing there was, the turbos, since they were independent of each other, were laggy because it doesn't have all four exhaust pipes spinning it up. But once it did spin up, it was like they weren't spinning fast enough at cruise because they're only getting half the airflow to them, not providing enough air to keep it from running so rich and so restrictive. And then once it did come up, it's like they were too restrictive to flow the air of the 2300. So that's what I could kind of get the gist out of it. I think if it would have been, a milder engine, like a 1915 or so, I think the turbo setup with the T3s, what are those? KO3s, would work fine. It would still be laggy to get to boost, but once you're on boost, it would pull right through it. So anyways, we're back carburetor for right now. Eventually, boost will happen. It's just, I want to complete the rest of the car. Can't do that with playing with the motor all the time. So we have put the thicker weight oil in it, and that solved all my low oil pressure and all that without the turbos, and without thicker oil, it was all good. It had a little smoking when I first started it up. That's gone away with the thicker oil. It's got the Pro Street box with the 437 ring and pinion on an IRS. And if you guys know, they have different bolt patterns on the ring gear. My buddy drilled the ring gear because the ring gear is centered by the super diff anyways, and 2 of the bolts match up out of, I think it's 6 on the early models and 8 on the late, or vice versa. And he was able to drill a new pattern in it, and that thing's working awesome. It likes those gears. So it's a 437 with a 378 first, 202nd, 206 second, and then I can't remember if it's a 132 or a 126 third, and a .89 fourth. And it's liking those gears. It pulls really good, carbureted. Been playing with the jets. Part of the problem I think I had with the turbo setup is the float height was too high. Weber used to recommend 10 millimeters, and I found that some point in time when ethanol started becoming a thing, they started recommending 14 millimeters closed. So I moved it down to 14 millimeters, and it leaned out my mid-range, right where I was having an issue of it just going completely rich. And so that helped there. Now we are over here. This guy has my mess. There's a mess everywhere. Building breather boxes. So this will be the box for it. It's not done yet. We got to polish it and stuff. It's going to be valve cover in on the bottom, valve cover in on the side, and then the breather tower at the top here in the middle. They have a baffle in it. I just built up a curved baffle there, and then that's why so there's an arc right here going down to catch all the oil, and the oil should drain back down and go down the valve cover vent, and then air can vent out the top. We're going to use one of those air filters there. This is my other one I had. This one's got a W inside with holes drilled in it and foam, and this worked good, but wrong ends. We need AN lines, and I don't really feel like cutting the ends off and trying to make that work. So I just made another one. So that's that. Ben's motor's over there. I got to put that back together for him, give it back to him. We got material to repair the side curtains and stuff. Yes, it's all turned into a mess here. So these worked, but where I glued, the glue just did not hold. So I got to sew that on. Like where I sewed it, it's fine. And the plastic I used for the windows was just not thick enough, and it ripped on the trip. I had to actually sew it back together and stuff, and you know, I learned, so now I can do a better job. We got different vinyl. We got real vinyl. And it's supposed to be marine grade white vinyl. Has like the actual like, there we go, vinyl marks in it. There's clear plastic in there. They put it all together. So my sewing machine should be able to do that better this time than what it did before. Got a little backup camera here. I'll probably make a video on that. It's actually pretty impressive so far. And over here for the seats, we got the seat heaters to put heated seats in it. Originally I wasn't going to do it, but now I'm deciding I need to do it because, you know, if we got air conditioning in it, why not have heated seats, right? And that was the one thing, when it got cold on sick week, it could have used a little heat. It was like right at the limit, and it got cold in the 40s. And it was like, you know, a little bitty heat would be nice, but a jacket was completely bearable. But when it started getting in the 30s, I think, like at 3 in the morning when we were down south, and it could have used a little heat. So a seat heater will help eliminate that problem. But the reason for the backup camera is because I sit so low in it, these wings right here limit your view, and you turn your head and you are looking at the other headrest, and the mirror is up high. You really can't see what's on the ground behind you. So I bought some little lights. This transmission does not have a nose cone with a reverse light switch in it, so I'm going to have to flip it on to the reverse lights, and the camera will be on a switch. Just flip it up, back up. No, I'm not going to pull it apart, put the nose cone in. That's, you know, it's done. So anyways, I can't really see where the engine is, and I can't see where the sides are and stuff. So I bought a little camera, and we'll hook that up and show the quality of that in another video. But anyways, boys and girls, that's where we're at right now. It does run, it drives. We're just going to try and clean up all the other little misfit ends. We've got an intercom system somewhere. I don't even know where I put it. Place is a mess. That we're going to put in there. And try and make this thing just a lot more better of a cruiser. So I'll see you guys later.